Welcome to our short video on Discursis. I'm Dr. Bernadette Chevalier.
And I'm Dr. Daniel Angus. So what is Discursis? Well, Discursis is a software that provides a chronological visual plot of communication between speakers. To do this, Discursis looks at what is being said and by whom over time.
Discursis has been used as an adjunct to the qualitative analysis of a range of communication research, including healthcare communication research. It has effectively been applied in the analysis of physician-patient consultations, in conversations between patients with dementia and residential caregivers, and between healthcare provider and patients around the disclosure of adverse events. In this study, we are using Discursis to enhance the qualitative analysis of hospital pharmacist-patient communication exchanges. So let's begin with a quick walkthrough of how to interpret a Discursis plot. This is a conversation between a pharmacist and a patient about their medications. I'll review this Discursis plot to help give you an idea how they're interpreted. The conversation starts at the top and progresses in the direction indicated. The red blocks are the pharmacist and the blue blocks are the patient. The relative size of each block represents how many words are contributed by each speaker. These half-colored blocks, or off-diagonal blocks, indicate that one speaker has picked up on concepts introduced by a previous speaker. This is also known as an episode of speaker engagement. You see these vertical stripes? They indicate how well a concept was continued throughout. You can see how different speakers repeat their own concepts or other speakers' concepts by the intensity of the color. And then this large red block at the end shows that the pharmacist has summarized many of the topics already covered.
So how does all of this work? Simply put, we take a file, which is the written text of the spoken conversation. This is organized by speaker, and with each line of that file indicating the words that were said in that turn of the conversation. The file is opened by the Discursus software, and the Lexamancer concept engine, which is inside the Discursus software, looks for word patterns, so essentially statistics of word use within that transcript. Lexamancer looks for the co-occurrence of words to indicate the presence of a concept. The idea being that words that travel together have some kind of a correlation, or that are actually statistically correlated together. And this is by its essence what we mean when we say concept. Lexamancer builds these concepts from the actual transcript. It doesn't use any other external intelligence or logic. So it doesn't use a dictionary and it doesn't use some pre-built taxonomy. It's only the statistics of word use from the transcript that we've given the Discursus program that are used to build this language model. So once Lexamancer has built the concept model from the input text, we need to display these concepts in time. We do this through a technique called recurrence plotting. Recurrence plotting displays the concepts over the time period of the conversation. It visualizes conceptual use by participants and specifically looks for conceptual reuse, plotting these as squares below the diagonal.
In this study, a key feature of Discursus is its ability to display patterns of engagement. Our research group established indicators for moderate to high versus low levels of engagement. Conversations with moderate-high levels of engagement were characterized by several episodes of two-colored or off-diagonal blocks, whereas low levels of engagement had none or only a few occasions of these off-diagonal block patterns. Here are two plots that show contrasting levels of engagement between pharmacists and patients. As you can see, distinct patterns were observed for moderate to high and low levels of pharmacist-patient engagement. This example of moderate to high engagement between pharmacist and patient shows three main sections of multiple episodes of engagement. This grouping at the top might indicate agenda setting for the conversation. This large cluster reflects the main conversation about the medications. The episodes near the end are about medication procurement. And here, the pharmacist summarizes some main points covered in the conversation. This example of low engagement between a pharmacist and a patient, it only shows alternating solid colored squares. There are no off-diagonal blocks indicating engagement. The pharmacist continues onward without engaging the patient at all. The patient provides back-channeling responses, such as, yeah, only. These multiple red squares under the diagonal show that the pharmacist has stayed on topic throughout, repeating themselves, repeating similar concepts.
As a software technique, Discursus allows you to immediately verify patterns, such as those of engagement between speakers, as is the case of this study. Discursus plots are designed to be interactive by the user. The user can easily access the content of the conversation and verify for themselves what is being said by each speaker. This can be done by simply left-clicking and dragging the mouse over areas of interest. As you can see, the software will magnify and reveal the actual dialogue besides the blocks on the plot squares.
In summary, Discursus is a valuable tool to assist in the process of qualitative analysis. It is important to understand that Discursus can enhance qualitative analysis, but it is not intended to replace it. In the study, Discursus was particularly useful in identifying patterns of engagement and non-engagement between speakers. In terms of future possibilities for Discursus, it has value as an adjunct to analysis in qualitative research. Researchers can use the software to conduct a quick review of large datasets prior to identifying key areas for concentrated analysis. Discursus can also be used as a teaching tool in communication skills training for both students and practitioners, where Discursus plots would provide a visual representation of their conversations with patients.